Time to get in your time machines. I'm taking you to the first great dispensation, the world that was. Please let me share an article with you that I wrote. I tried to take the words right out of Brother Johnson's mouth as much as possible, while at the same time trying to remain modern sounding. The first world, the world that was, the old world, was from the fall of man until the flood, lasting 1656 years. It was the order of all affairs that prevailed among men, especially from the fall into sin and the curse until it was blotted out by the flood in the days of Noah. It was an evil order of affairs because in it error and death prevailed. Before the flood, the symbolic stars, the light bearers of truth, were the angels who were the authorized teachers of the people, rewarding the people for obedience and punishing them for disobedience. The angels were permitted by the Lord to seek the uplift of mankind after sin had entered the world, and were made the religious teachers in the world that then was. Instead of success crowning their efforts, matters became worse and worse until man's wickedness required the punishment of the flood. Not only did mankind steadfastly continued its downward course into sin, but many of the angels were misled into sin in an unauthorized attempt to stem the tide of human wickedness and to restore mankind into perfection. Apart from Satan, the other angels did not disobey until just before the flood. He, Satan, led many angels into sin. The angels sinned by marrying women and raising families, leaving their own habitation, their commitment of living as spirit beings, and becoming guilty of fornication and going after a different nature from their own. The old world became unfit for divine youths as religious leaders and teachers. Before the flood, society seemed to be organized on a more or less communistic basis, somewhat after the manner of the social organization of the North American Indians. There was no private ownership in property, no governments among the people, and no competition in business. This social arrangement, combined with man's increasing selfishness and sinfulness, and the selfishness and sinfulness of the giant offspring of the angels, made the earth corrupted into sin. the reformation of man from sin and his restoration to perfection before the flood proved to be a failure. The angels as teachers of the human family and society, organized on somewhat of a communistic basis, became corrupt, unfit for the Lord's further use and tolerance. As such, therefore, the Lord was determined to flood the earth. Let this be a lesson to all the leaders around the world. God didn't necessarily flood the earth because of the people, but because of the leadership. Thank you for your attention. I will send you, I will put you back in your time machine and send you to the next age. Brother Daniel will be presenting the present evil world.